What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Bald and Bearded channel. I'm your host, Sean. This is our 8th episode of our Dark Souls Remastered live stream series. This could potentially be the final episode of this playthrough. If not, we'll have one more after that. So let's go ahead and get to the gaming screen. What up, Paulie? Good to see you, buddy. Thanks for joining in. Yeah, so again, like usual, we are still playing our cleric slash noob style of play. We're playing as if this was our first go through. We have no knowledge of anything in the game, and everything that we're using to this point is based off of what we've learned in this playthrough. That being said, we won't ever go to the DLC because that's just not reasonable for a noob to figure out. We did manage to get to the Painted World, so that was cool. We will not kill the Dark Sun. That's not going to happen. And I think that's pretty much it for like the optional stuff, right? I think we're going to do everything else. Fortunately for us, we got stuck without finding Quelaag early in the game. So then we cleared out pretty much all the other like early game stuff that you can access. Sorry, I just remembered we won't be going to Ash Lake either, so that's another place. What up, Pretzel? What's going on? Well, you'll be pleased to know that the next game we're streaming after this is the remaster, or actually the remake of Dead Space. Remake of Dead Space is coming up next after this. All right, let's figure out what we want to do. So, we actually obtained some Lord Souls, so let's drop down there and see what happens. We don't know. We're a noob. We'd be curious, like, We don't know that we won't get killed if we jump down there.
Is it something urgent?
So I think I would talk to this guy. Feeding him slabs is just insane. Don't do that.
The beings who possess these souls have outlived their usefulness, or have chosen the path of the wicked. As the primordial serpent, I implore you to defeat them and claim their souls. Let there be no guilt. Let there be no vacillation.
Vacillation?
The beings who...
Alright, I guess we're just supposed to warp there.
Stay still for a moment.
That's not much of a warp. Yeah, nobody's choosing that method of transportation. I don't know if I've ever given some of the souls to the Lord Vessel. I feel like I probably did in my first playthrough, but I can't remember. Never feed the slab to that piece of dog Duke. Offer souls to the Lord Vessel. Let's see, what did they do? Have some of those. Alright, so you can see obviously it is brighter. Nothing happens. We've given what we've got, and there's more to obtain.
I am pleased to see you well. Is it something urgent? Are you ready? Then we shall
So you don't need to go through this process to get on to move you around. You can warp from the bonfire, and then you can also, instead of asking him to take you down here, you can just drop down this hole, and there's no fall damage. So... Wow, it looks darker out here. That was weird. Yeah. Like the lighting was different. Okay, now we have to think about where we're going, right? So the only thing that we know for sure is we didn't kill any boss in the Tomb of Giants. And when we got the cutscene after we obtained the Lord Vessel, it basically showed the darker area. So that's the only darker area that we've been to. So we can put 2 and 2 together and say it's probably the Tomb of the Giants. We've accomplished Seat the Scaleless. because we knew to go to the archives. We didn't know that's where Seath was, but we knew to go to the archives, so we completed that. And then we went to the demon ruins because in the cutscene it showed us the mountainous landscape of the demon ruins, the like red hued area that we've never seen anywhere else. So we knew to go down there, and we accomplished all of that stuff. So here we are. Let's warp to the Tomb of Giants. Now, me personally, I would love to go to New Londo Ruins so we could accomplish getting the ember that we want to make our weapon plus 15. Yeah, we're gonna need some light. The great thing about this is we picked up the sunlight maggot. So let's read this. A loathsome parasite that inhabits lost Izalith. It is completely immobile, yet still lives. When worn on the head, it emanates blinding light, which is why it is known as the sunlight maggot. So this is way better than carrying around the skull, because obviously we can have our hand free. Very nice. So all we know is that there's more to this area. We don't know where we're going. This is full noob mode activated. And if you guys don't recall, this is where Patches was, and we are actually playing as a cleric. So when Patches asked us if we were a cleric, we said yes. Ooh, hello. We won't be able to get to that from here. We know where that is essentially, but it's probably not worth going for it. So this is going to be our first experience with the enemies over here. So we're just kind of looking around, seeing what we got. That sound doesn't really feel that great to hear. Yeah, so that is a big ass enemy. Understandably so, our weapon isn't very good against this guy. We don't really have a bone smashing type weapon that we've invested in. Like the Gravelord sword would probably be pretty decent, but it's also terribly slow. It's not something that we really want to use too much. Oh, we see a bonfire down there. Kind of forgot there was a fog gate here. Okay. Oh! So we could hear that guy running around, but what we want to do in a situation like this is probably run back to where we know it's safe. Oh my god. And then deal with this guy. That archer is pretty nasty. He's a long ways away, but he's a problem. Oh. Can we see? Oh, yeah, we can see him. Is it a skeleton archer? Can't tell. Can't remember. Thought it was a silver knight. It is strange that they have the knights in here, to be honest. It's a weird place for them. It genuinely doesn't make any sense to me. Oh! See if we can hug this. Yeah, skelly. All right. Give me the loots. I kind of wish there was a like a miracle that would make sense to have a miracle that illuminates an area and it just kind of like throws an orb forward. You know what? I bet you the emit force might kind of do that to an extent. It does. Okay, cool. Oh, that attack. That was crazy. I was just sitting there thinking like, wow, it's not going after me. And then it did one of the most confusing attacks you'll ever see. Alright, so whatever that item is, that is pretty far away, and it was back from where we came from, but it's below. So, something to think about. This guy above us, I think it's probably smarter to kill him. That little back step that I was able to do in between like the casting animation is what kept me alive there and actually did more damage to him because he had just finished his attack. And you'll notice if enemies are doing certain things, they're more vulnerable. So like if an enemy backsteps and you hit them in that process, they take more damage. If they just finish their attack, they'll usually take more damage. I don't know if the game ever really does any kind of effort to truly identify that to you or explain that to you, but you can see it in the amount of damage you do. I think I would go this way because it's probably leading me towards this loot. We are on the ledges here, so I would expect those bone fucking tall boys to pop up. They remind me of like Mario Bros levels where they have this things. I think it was Mario Bros 3. Bros. All right, let's see. We picked up, I think it was called the Shield of Effigy. The Effigy Shield. Let's check it out. Just by looking at it, it looks like it would be good against occult or divine, but it doesn't show that as an auxiliary effect. Let's read. Yeah, frightful occult shield defends against divine weapons and lightning. In an ill-fated plot to destroy the very gods, the followers of the occult once attempted to steal the power of Gravelord Nito, the first of the dead. So this is actually a good shield for a very specific situation, like most shields are. You can see a lot of value in quite a few shields. But there's one or two that you pretty much carry at all times, and then there's a few that you might use in certain areas or particular fights. This gets us a little bit closer to that bonfire, so that's good. Oh man, a noob might be tempted to try to drop there, but I guess we could use a stone to see. Yeah. Do we have any is the question. I don't think we do. I think we use them all. Be a good opportunity to buy some the next time we use them. Or next time we see some. Yeah, no. Yeah, those stones are very useful when you don't know where the hell you are. And like what's going on. As you've actually already seen when you first get into this zone, those stones have been used by other players traversing the area. Or other people. So we got a tall boy that we can see pretty well. We've got a dog in front of us. It is hard to know how much you can avoid things, but that's great. We could hug the wall and get to the bonfire. Perfect. I think I'm willing to use my spell here if I can catch some vision on him. There we go. Problem is you can't target. Oh. Okay. Doesn't seem like we need to kill the big boy up there. So let's take a look at what else. Some loots. Chunk, nice. That's weird. That looks like it's just some broken bone that like flopped around. Oh shit! I hit the wrong button, obviously. Oh man, I hit the paddle under my controller. That's what made me heal like that. Oh, that's not what I wanted. I did not. Oh, okay. We'll take that. I was gonna say that's not what I wanted his attack to be. I wanted to parry his attack. So you can see what's funny is the enemies do target lock. If you've ever wondered why the enemies jump to their deaths like that, it's the same reason why I tell you guys constantly to not use target lock. The enemies get killed by target lock constantly because they can't control the direction that they're actually dodging. So you can use that against them. Like you could just kind of like sit there, and if an enemy's gonna backstep at any point, they're almost always gonna do it at a ledge. It's so funny. Yeah. Let's go ahead and take this dude out. Ouch! No! He staggers me so long. Okay, so the spells, it's not a good idea if you can't get away from the first attack. Because once he hits you, you're kind of fucked. Alright. No need to take that risk. We can see more items over there. So that's nice. I don't know if Big Dog will come. Okay, it will. Let's see if we can make him bounce off. And I'm falling off. God, this zone. All right. I was gonna say, I thought I grabbed it. Okay, now we can attack with no worries. Oh my god. That dude just flew to his death. Let's go ahead and get this guy out. Come to me, sir. Ah, fucker. Whoop. He was gonna kick me over the ledge. That piece of shit. I don't think we can parry this guy. I think he's too... Because I mean, we might be able to parry him, but he's too... I think he's too big for us to counterattack. So we're not getting the benefit of doing so. Our noob would be looking at that item. Longing. I'm fine with using the spell just to draw him out. And let's get in position. Oh, these fucking staggers are so brutal. Oh my god. We're fucked. He's recovering so fast from those very strong attacks. Like the crawling forward 4-bite move that he does. It's surprising when they chain many of those together, because that's a pretty powerful attack. Alright, so we're intentionally killing everything here because we want to try to scour for loot, right? Oh my god, I hate it. Thankfully, the third hit is a stagger. Oh, nice. Oh, no. Well, now we know there's area to walk down there. He's going to reveal where he comes from, too, so he's going to show us. So wherever he comes back from... Okay, down here. We'll know that that's where you go. God, how did he turn there? Thought he was gonna be stuck. Okay. So yeah, it was kind of good that he fell down, because it gave us awareness that there was a space here. Wow. Okay. But there was some loot above us, right? Oh, there it is. Mine. This is a... Oh, not a drop down. Alright, so we know that this is where Leroy would be. And this is kind of cool because this is our first vision of like Ash Lake area. But we don't know that. Like this to us as a noob just looks like fucking weird scenery. It doesn't look like any place that a player could be, right? And we're never gonna get there. That's just a thing. But yeah, if you're in human form, that's where Leroy will be. He will invade you. He's actually one of those guys you would want to kill as a cleric because he's got some cool cleric loots. Huh. Police car just drove by. Hello. Just based off of where we are, and we don't know what's in front of us, I would definitely kill these guys in order to not get trapped, because this is a narrow passage. Oh, we can see Archer in front of us. This is where being a pyromancer is actually like super strong. If you have that... Oh, fuck you, Archer. Okay. We knew there was one behind. Oh my god. Trying to avoid the fucking Archer that's firing at me. And get this thing out of the way. Okay. Now this is the real problem here. Oh, my emit force deflected that projectile because it was still casting. Check it out. So I'll show you what regular force does when you can time this. See? Didn't take a hit. But you will if you don't time it right. So watch it. You gotta be faster. Boink. It's pretty cool, huh? So that's why my my emit force orb, as it was hitting the bone statue thing, it actually was timed well enough to fuck with the guy with the arrows too. So that was pretty cool. See the arrow fly all the way back there? Ooh, hello, sir. Oh, not that. I'm always worried that we're going to shove the spear where there's nothing to hit. It's a skeleton that's really tall, and it looks like our spear is just going to go right between his legs most of the time. Would be curious about that. We know what those guys are. We've fought the pinwheel boss, so those are nothing new. I'd be a little bit concerned about how they're all just kind of chilling. Okay, now we can see. So we don't necessarily know where we're going yet. Oh, it's our first chance to see the Baba scales. I feel like you should be able to backstab those dudes. It's kind of silly that you can't. They're not very large. Oh shit. There's a lot of noise going on above me. Chunky. The good thing is these guys are super easy to stagger. Nice. So we kind of just saw behind us that this guy just animated from the ground. Yeah, so what we can tell now is that these guys just seem to be an infinite spawn. So unless we recognize that there's a reason to just continue to kill them, it doesn't seem to be worth our effort, right? Trying to watch, see if anything's actually dropping from them, but we're not noticing it. Any other loots that we can see? Oh, loots. Okay. Let's check this out. Okay, that's good. So one of the weapons that I like down here is a scythe, because you can just do this sweeping attack. Oh! And these guys are good for farming humanity, if you didn't know. There's so many of them and they just spawn so quickly. So it's very easy, and that you obviously one-hit kill them. Ooh. So this is what This is what I like about item placement near areas that you should be drawn to, right? So it's good to have an item near up here so you can notice this place. Very important. All right, so we see a fog gate. We expect a boss fight potentially. We don't know what's waiting for us, but we are going to enter and see what we get. Huh. So most boss fights don't start like this. So we would think maybe this isn't a boss fight. But then when you look below, this is like one of those falls that you expect to die from, right? So, Now we know that there's fucking skellies down here and that it's Nito. The skeletons will respawn. So it's going to be a very big problem for us because we're not using a divine weapon. To our assumption, we don't need that unless a necromancer's around. But Nito is kind of like a giant necro. So that's something a noob will have to learn in the fight and then say, okay, well, shit, I need a divine weapon for this. Or not get involved with the skellies. So this is where we kind of realize, wait a minute, that is our covenant leader. So it'd be a curious thing. What happens when you kill your covenant leader? In most cases, you'll get kicked out of the covenant. I don't think that happens here. Now we know that the scream is going to be a bad thing for us. Like normally I'd be dodging the scream. But we wouldn't know to do that here. And that would be our first experience with that. And we're seeing the reanimated skeleton, and that's a very bad sign. I don't know if we'd connect the scream yet with the blade, but I think we would after the second one. Now we're starting to realize that it's definitely the scream, and we have to figure out how to time it. And we're gonna get killed by a fucking rolly skull. Got lucky there. So we gotta try to be a little bit more patient. And now we know, we just gotta get in here. We can't fucking try to... We can't try to avoid all this shit. Oh. One thing you might want to try to do is get crits on the skellies to make yourself... Oh. There we learned a hard lesson. He will also do a ginormous AoE attack if you're in front of him. All right. So the first lesson you learn is immediately, okay, we want a divine weapon on. We can't fuck with this guy without that. So we've got our Astora straight sword. Let's look at our weight. We're good. Okay. And we're not going to benefit from the Hornet Ring here. So let's be smart and change that. He's hitting us with like bleed or poison or something. You can see there's a status effect. It hasn't accumulated enough to do the dirty work to us. So we don't truly know what that is just yet. We're taking a lot of physical damage hits between him and the skelly, so that might be something to consider. Based off of what we have available to us, I think the Ring of Steel Protection's the way to go here. So that's fair. We also probably want to add a... now, I would think that the charcoal pine resin works best on him. Can't remember. But we want to make sure that we can apply it to a divine weapon. We haven't done that before. And in fact, you can see it's grayed out. So we cannot add a pine resin to a divine weapon. Boo. So we take that off. We learned something there. We do have fire bombs. So we could add some black fire bombs if we want to try to get in some hits. I'm going to take my crossbow off completely just so I don't accidentally swap to it at some point. Fat fingering. And then I'm going to try to upgrade my weapon because we haven't bothered to try to upgrade this thing in a long time. So let's see if we can get it a little bit stronger. Yeah, and we'll be just fine to do so. We hadn't... upgrading a unique item like this costs a lot more souls. So that wasn't something that we were prepared for. So you just got to consume more. It's no problem. All right. And items that are upgraded with Twinkling Titanite, they cap out at +5. So we've actually maxed out this sword. This is the best this sword is ever going to get. We have seen that we're going to need more Estus flasks, most likely, for this fight. And so we would want to reverse hollowing and kindle this bonfire, because it's the closest bonfire to the boss. So this would make sense to use it here. And what we don't know is that we're going to get invaded because of this. So this will be fun. This is how we meet Leroy. All right. Hopefully we don't die to a dogger before then. One of the other happy byproducts of this is we'll probably just do more damage in general to the big enemies around us. And so it might make just navigating to this boss fight a lot easier. Something that we could have and should have done when we realized that we needed to kill skellies. Because even though you don't need the divine weapon because they're not reanimating in this area right now, it'll still be more effective, right? So we weren't struggling too much that we thought we could get away with it, but now it's just good to have anyways. This could be one of those things where you want to try to just get where you're going quickly. I'm trying to remember the path here. If we can... Oh, that's not where we want to go. If we can avoid combat, it'd be a good thing to do, right? Oh, hello. I think we did for the most part. Yep. So we want to stay here and just make sure if the dog drops that we can kill it. All right. I think we're good. So yeah, that was good. We were able to get back here without doing any combat. We should get invaded any second now. Ooh, crystal lizard. There's Leroy. The paladin. I'll call him a paladin for you, Questo. Huh. So we know we got invaded, but my character has no idea where he is. So I'd be... Okay, now we see him. We're pretty used to trying to parry human-type enemies. It's usually the safest route to go. When you see the NPCs backing up like this, it's always good to just go in. You know they're gonna heal. That's what they're doing. Whenever an enemy NPC kind of like disengages, that's 100% what it's doing. All right. That's good because we get humanity. We get soft humanity and regular humanity. We get the Sanctus, which is a healing shield. The Grant. So, very cool. There's another side effect to killing Leroy. After you kill Nito, the boss fight that we're going to next, if you reload in the area, you'll get his armor set as well. Leroy's armor, that is. Nito doesn't have an armor set. Nito's cape would be fucking rad. Let's take a look at those items real fast, though. So this could actually be our bonk item, our Grant here. But then you look at the absolute insane strength requirement. 50 strength. That's just a joke. A massive divine weapon. A legendary weapon of the Way of White, granted to an undead paladin long ago. This mass of iron can only be lifted by those with inhuman strength, but it is blessed and very effective against agents of dark. Yeah, it's a bad boy. The requirement for it is insane, especially knowing that it's going to be used by cleric typically. So this would be like a build for a strong strength cleric boy if you wanted to kind of role play that. So we do more damage there. I was hoping that we would stagger it on the third hit and then just be able to straight up fight it with no risk. That wasn't the case. So I'm going to do 2 normal hits and a strong attack and see if that makes a difference on the next one that spawns. Okay, it does. It kills it outright. But we won't have that timing here. Need to let this guy get a little bit closer. I want to worry less about the archer. Okay. And then remember, we had pretty good success. Oh shit! Using this. He stops shooting at me once he hits me. Funny. Wow, how'd the arrow get through that? You saw my spell go right through it. That was weird. That should not happen. Look at it. Look at the... the way it was in my head shows you that I was in the casting position there. That's funny. That didn't stagger him at all, but it staggered the shit out of me. What? It didn't even count the hit? Cleric glitches. Oh my god. Wasn't letting me target him. Oh, he took a long time to die there. That was quite interesting. Ooh. If he had landed that kick, I might have been a goner. This thing, I guarantee you, this Skelly has to be programmed to kick more so than any of the others. He fucking loves that move. Alright, we don't need to fight through these things. I mean, we can probably just kill one if we run up on it. But other than that, it's okay. Oh! So yeah, you can already tell that this is more effective against them. Whoops. And I'm just killing them now because I'm actually hopeful that they'll drop one of the masks. I don't know the drop rate for it. Oh, I think one of them did actually. Nope, they dropped chunks. Let's pick this up. Okay. Now you can probably imagine that this weapon is a little bit more difficult to kill these little baby skellies. I wonder if my... You know what? I want to see if my regular force spell actually does damage to these guys. They're so tiny. It wouldn't be that weird if it did. They just crumble and then reanimate. It's not an actual kill. Unlucky. I don't know if they can or not, Paul. I can't remember. I feel like they probably would have a pretty low drop rate, but they should, right? Because, ooh. Let me just see that. There's a piece of loot we never picked up. And it's over here, so we need to trace that around somehow. Did I just go in a circle? I think I did. Where we saw it. Oh, okay. Right. Chaw. That's why you can't see it when you come in. It's kind of like tucked away behind you. All right. We should have a moment to gather our character when we walk in here. Okay, so that's good. We know we're going to have to heal almost as soon as we land. But I want to be at full health just in case. Oh man, we haven't seen our character's face in so long. It looks weird to me. Yeah, fire bombs, this sword. I think we're good. Give me those. All right, so one thing that I would suggest is potentially running and killing all the skellies if you want to use the whole zone. But we saw him do that last time. We don't know. Oh, we just learned that that has a huge fucking area. So now we know that we do want to use the whole zone. Oh my god. We haven't seen him do that, so there. We're learning. Anytime you get grabbed by a boss, it's very scary. You feel like it's a kill shot. There's so much delay there. Get me out! Please! I can't see what he's doing. Alright, so this... Ooh, there's 3 big boys. He's also, like, unfortunately, he's got a small hitbox. It doesn't make a lot of sense, right? But we don't want to approach the big guys because there's 3 of them. That attack always pisses me off. See, we can't hit him here, so you have to, like, hit his back foot. It's fucking annoying. Even though he's right up on you. He's got, like, a sneaky small hitbox. Stay there, skellies. So the more you fight the guy, you'll become more familiar with the timing on his scream attack. To be honest, I'm kind of surprised we don't take some kind of like build up damage while you're standing next to him. Stay. Stay. Can't see shit. So if you have vision on him, you can watch the animation of his attack. Fuck it. I almost ran away. Oh, man. I can't remember the last time I was just standing there watching his death animation like that. That looked kind of cool, honestly. Lord Soul. Then you get a bonfire here. This is how you, obviously the skellies here just immediately exploded. If you wanted the whole arena to have to navigate, you would kill these big boys. But I feel that adds like another degree of difficulty. Unless you have a big boomstick. Our sword would have taken too much work to kill them. Alright. So again, Leroy's armor set will be here, but it's a weird quirk in the game. Like, you have to load. You can't just reset at the bonfire. So I'm going to do that just to show you, but we're not going to use his loot because we wouldn't have known that otherwise, right? We're playing like a noob, guys. Am I, oh, there it is. Okay, I was looking to say, like, am I making a mistake that I, it's not like a set that I think is super cool, but it's, you don't often get, like, good quality sets like this for free. Let's see. Long ago, the Way of White produced its first undead, a paladin in golden armor with the legendary treasures Grant and Sanctus. Leroy set out for Lordran, land of the gods, in the first undead mission of the Way of the White. We never looked at the shield, but I do want to show you that. Let's see. There it is. So you can see here it's got 95 physical damage reduction. If it was 100, this would be one of the most popular shields in the game. Because a legendary weapon of the Way of the White, granted to an undead paladin long ago, once blessed with the protection of a white flame, but its power has all but faded, so that it provides only slight HP recovery. So if you're hurt and you got this on your back, it's just going to continually give you HP until you're back at full health. You can kind of see this like little glowing yellow streaks coming from you. So this is one of those shields that I would highly recommend, especially if you're just running through areas to conserve on your healing items. You can just alternate between this and the Grass Crest shield. Really good one. This shield looks fucking cool too. It's one of the best designed shields in the game in my opinion. And of course it's a parry shield, so always want a parry shield in your hands as well. So this and the Grass Crest are two of my favorite shields. Very nice. We are not super concerned about heals, but if you were on a particular playthrough where that was paramount to you, especially if you're like on a no Estus run or a no death run or something like that, that item can really fucking be good for you. All right, so our character would now go back to Firelink because we don't know what else we would do at this point. We know that we have New Londo Ruins to go to, the Four Kings. We can also take off the Maggot Helm. We got lots of souls we should spend. The question is, on what? I think we want to get to a 4th attunement slot. And then maybe... Oh yeah. Let's swap back to our spear. And let's take a look at the spear. So, scales with dex. It's not a great dex weapon, but that's what it's scaling with primarily. So it would make sense to bump our dex up a little bit. Nice. We haven't talked to this guy in a minute.
There you are. Just so you know, Master Logan has left on his own again. It seems that he is still determined to find the famed regal archives in Anor Londo, and I have decided that I must search for him.
You ain't going nowheres.
Oh, hello. Terrific to see us, and pray that...
All right. Let's see if our friend has something to say.
Oh, I'm sorry. Sometimes I lose...
And you know what? This guy, I can't remember. He wanted to like go kill somebody. He was being a fucking idiot. I can't remember who it was. But I know he's down here in the New Londo Ruins as a hollow.
That you have agreed to link the fire. I thank you sincerely. Finally, the curse of the undead will be lifted.
How'd she know that?
And I can die human. I am powerless, but I will do all that I can. Please, save us all. Please.
I am the hero of Milady.
Forgive me. I am impure. Please, I wish not to.
Alright. She must have really appreciated me to speak because she doesn't like to do that at all. Alright, let's drop down our, whoops. Let's give the other Lord's soul. Whee! I usually hit him there, it's kind of fun. That's weird how the flame like lessens and then gets big again. All right. So the altar of the Grave Lord is where we just killed Nito. So you can now fast travel to that, which is good for us if we wanted to continue to improve our standing with the Grave Lords, but there's no purpose for that right now. Thinking we'll go to Firelink And we pretty much know that we're supposed to go to New Londo. We don't know what else we can do there to do that contraption. So I'd be looking at my key items and see if there was something new that we picked up that I don't remember very well. So we're just going to keep looking for stuff that has to do with New Londo. Well, the key to New Londo ruins. For bars between New Londo and Drake Valley, we did that. Okay. Yeah, so we don't have a particular key that's going to help us. So now it's like, okay, well, we got to figure out what is it in that area that we can get to make this shit work. So I would start combing the area and assuming that I missed something. It's gonna be fun making the noob death, landing in the Four Kings boss arena without the ring equipped. I kind of suspect that when you die there, it's gonna give you a game message, kind of like when you're first cursed by Seath the Scaleless, when they're like, yo, you gotta get that curse removed by like the vendor or this, that, or the other. So the traversal of the Abyss ring, that's always a funny one to me, because people just kind of forget that that's the thing, or didn't know that it's a thing to begin with, and you're just dead. I think it would be a decent time to talk to our smithy friend. It's been a minute. See if he's got something new going on.
Hey, hang on. Is that an ember? Oh, I'm sorry. Perhaps you should try an old smith out.
Shoddy vendors. You bastard. So it would be this point that we realized, holy shit, we're missing a blacksmith because nobody wants our fire ember. And then if we were really thinking big brain, we would remember that weird time in the catacombs that we heard what sounded like a blacksmith. But there was just no way, like, it's behind this mountainous wall and there was no way seemingly to get there. If we were super stuck, we might go back there and for whatever reason, but I don't think I would be pushed off of my current course for that. That's for sure. Let's see. Modify weapon. They can do the magics. Talk.
What is it? There's nothing. We're both cut.
He doesn't want to talk. Let's see what he's actually selling. Yeah. So this is actually... This guy, he's one of my favorite early game vendors for a noob player. If you can figure out that he exists down here, which is very difficult to do. If you stumble across him, getting the catalyst and the soul arrow or whatever it's called, very, very good early game item for a noob player. You can just pick things off from at range very safely. Super smart. But chances are, if you know that's there, then you also are decent enough at the game and experienced enough at the game. Oh. Here he is. Whoop. A little too far, buddy. He swings pretty quick sometimes. Oh, that was slow, though. And I fell for it again. And I got hit by that one. Legit. Holy shit, I'm staggered. Okay. I remember the first time I encountered this guy down here. He actually scared the fucking shit out of me because I had no idea he ever came down here. I'm pretty sure I was just doing my normal shit like, oh, this guy that's like laying here on his side, let me kill him for no fucking reason. And then this dude just comes out of nowhere hauling ass. I can hear his chain armor clink, clink, clonking. And he's super aggro. Absolutely startled the shit out of me. Dang it. Alright, so we know there's a Firekeeper soul down here, but I think we got it and ate it. Okay, we need to use our transient curse. Okay. So we're going to have to kind of go a little bit slow and methodical. Try to figure out what we're missing, right? We got to be missing something. Find the answer. Bonk. This place doesn't really afford you the comfort to stop and look around. I think we're actually still wearing our steel ring, which is actually doing work right there. That was very helpful. Ooh, we didn't see that contraption before we were here, right? So that's something immediately that we noticed that we didn't see before. We'd be like, okay. Contraption does not move. So that's something that we would think about. We see that chest, but we don't know how to get to it. And we really want that fucking chest. I'd be clanking on walls around here now. I'd be looking for a way into that. There's a spoop in that wall. Oh, hello. What? Was I just seeing something? Let's go kill the spoop over here. That was originally guarding the parry dagger that we already obtained. I just want to hit it once and then make it come towards us. So we can actually loot it if it drops something. Boo! Okay. Oh, we might get some vision on what's down here. Because that's where the contraption goes by. So we can't really see anything just yet. We see the floor, like it's not too deep, but we're not stupid. We know this game. We know this game will kill us. We can't swim. So dropping down seems to be quite ambitious. We did kick this ladder last time we were here, so Let's kill any spoops that are around and then make our way. We're just going to be pretty thorough. We have to be sure that we're not missing anything. I like when we get to the point of the game where it's like, man, what do we do? And you just keep trying to rack your brain on, what have I heard? What have the NPCs told me? What are the items telling me? Like, what is next for me? We saw that ghosty, like, hauling ass over here. Yeah, so 2 of them. Not a real comfortable place to stand, that's for sure. We looked down here originally, but now we've got a little moment to take things in a little bit more. Still nothing new that we can see. Okay. This thing I might be curious about. Can we jump on that? And if so, where do we go from there? So the answer would be no, just by looking at it. Pretty good job clearing out that space. Let's try to deal with more of these spoopies. There's so many, it's crazy. Give me that. What's up, George? Oh, by the way, George, I've confirmed the next game we're streaming is the remake of Dead Space, and I do have it in my library. So, holy fuck! Let me up. It's true. Yeah, it is. The game loves to fuck people over with some of these bonfire placements.
Oh, hello. You've acquired the Lord Vessel, have you? Very impressive. I know exactly what your intentions are. You seek the 4 kings whom I guard over. This is the key to the seals.
Huge!
The 4 kings slumber in the deepest chamber of the ruins. Use this key to break the seal and open the floodgates. Oh, and do not forget, the dark wraiths reside in a dark void called the Abyss. But the Abyss is no place for ordinary mortals. Although, long ago, the knight Artorias traversed the Abyss. If you can find him and learn from him, the Abyss may prove surmountable.
Too bad he doesn't tell you exactly.
Hello there. The key to the seal is now in.
All right. Pretty good stuff. Might as well buy a few of these while we're here. Thankfully, you can see that guy if you're paying attention. and know that, like, oh, okay, I guess I want to try to go up here. So what's good about this is we've already been through here, so we know where we got stuck last time, so we can just go right to it. We don't have to fuck around anymore because we just picked up the thing. The thing that we needed. So we were here long ago. But that was before we had the Lord Vessel. So when we talked to that guy, he wasn't giving us the key. Now, if you kill that guy, you will loot the key from his body. So you can get here much sooner. Oh yeah, and this is where you can see the dark wraiths immediately if you're paying attention, if you know what to look for. You know that this door connects to the drakes. We've been wondering about that, so we are all squared away. This contraption here we're about to figure out what this does. So what this shows us is this is not the contraption that takes us to the first place that we were looking at. So this is something different. Oh, we can see our buddy. Ooh. Can I not parry that? Alright, after we kill this dude, I need to put on my... well, maybe not. I was gonna say put on my counter ring, but I don't know, the Ring of Steel Protection, it's been coming in pretty handy. I like it. Alright. Noob me would be pretty slow moving here, but we're doing pretty good damage to those guys, so wouldn't be too terrified of them. We don't know about the humanity suck just yet. Queso's getting excited because his role-playing character is about to encounter his evil Dark Souls enemy character. Sure, item. Sure. I wasn't trying to necessarily avoid... Oh my god. I'm dead. I wasn't trying to avoid... Oh, shit. Motherfucker. Avoid the grab? Because I didn't know what that was, my character, I mean. But I was trying to get in a position to fucking parry this dude. Loots. Loots. Okay. Sounds interesting. Oh! Oh my god. That combo was disgusting. Yeah, so what we're realizing is we don't want to fuck with this dude. It's their combos that really get you. We do good damage to them, but they do great damage to us. Your friend, Questo. It's the Questo. Oh my god, the range. Jesus, dude, I was gonna say Christ. The range on Queso's grabby arm is insane. No! That's bad. That is so bad. Sir, come this way, please. What? No! Oh my god. How many of those bastards are there? Explode. You've been defeated, Questo. Do we have... Whoops! Not what I wanted to do, but sure. Sneaky, sneaky. Should I parry him for the entertainment and get killed? What? I keep hitting the fucking paddles underneath my controller. I gotta get... Oh my god. I should not. Dude, every time I accidentally hit one of those paddles, I almost die because of it. Holy shit. Gotta get used to this. Ah, here's the contraption. All right. Nice. Let's see where you take us. Some sweet loots. Gotta be ready if there's ghosts. We don't have a thingy to kill them yet. We need to use it. Consume it. I think in this... I don't know. I think in this zone, I would probably... At this point, I'd be like, you know what? Fuck this. I can't really see that well. I'd put this on and then be like, okay, this really doesn't... This actually... It's kind of blinding, so it doesn't help me that much. Any secrets? Oh. Okay. Should have put a chest there. Even if it was a mimic, put something. Ba-na-now-now. This is so huge. This is the item for us. Yes. We would be very, very, very happy about that as a noob. We can now fully upgrade our spear. Big score for us. It's quite dark in this area. Okay, we can see we can see this dude. I did it again, dude. I keep fucking hitting the pat. Oh, dude, why is this so hard for me to avoid? It's just showing me what I do instinctually when I grip underneath the controller. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, let me show you. Let's do this. So there's these paddles here, right here, and right here. And so I usually hold my controller like this. And so if you're not used to these buttons, when you grip down on the controller, you're going to press them. And this one is connected to heal. So like you'll just see me randomly try to chug a heal pot for no fucking reason. And it's getting me killed. Obviously, that's like one of the worst type of animations you can get locked in this game. You do not want that shit. So, yeah. I think it's been more prevalent happening to me down here because there's so much more danger with the dark wraiths than most enemies. We know there was an illusory wall back there, and that one was almost pretty obvious because it's such a different color of a texture than the other area. See, I can't really risk parrying these guys because their hits stagger me far too much. And I can end up in a position where they just straight up one-shot me. So I need to fight them very boring-like. Now, you can get an NPC summon over here if you've done what you need to do to this point. But we have not. Yeah, so I think this one would not only be pretty obvious that it's there, but then you could see this when you're looking around here. Like, oh, is there anything back here? And you could just easily see that that connects. So this is one of those illusory walls that you would very consistently expect to find as a noob. There's a guy in there. It's so dark. Aw, bummer. So, at this point, I'd want to equip my crossbow. Let me read what you said. Your controller you use with the PC has a tiny bit bigger paddles on the back compared to your Xbox Elite controller, and that tiny difference has you pressing the button. Yeah. So there's these other type of paddles that I was wearing on the controller the other day, and they're much smaller than this one. And I'll probably go back to those. I might not even keep the paddles in though. That's one of the good things about this controller is you can take those out completely. So what I want to do is I want to get used to them though. That's my preference. I want to get used to them and then be able to utilize them. But yeah, if something startles me or I get into an intense fight and I'm hard gripping the controller, I'm gonna fuck it up. I know it. There's no way. I think we want to go forward. Ooh, we see another Questo enemy. We can hear. Good thing we kind of barely walked in there because we could hear this guy. Ooh, I see an item up there to my right. So these guys can drop chunks and slabs. If you ever need to farm for a slab, you've got an option. Stay in there, big boy. Why? Oh, I hate when they do that. Just circle with you the whole time. It'd be so cool if we just got a slab to drop randomly. Questo, why? Stuck in the doorway. Of course, Queso. The Queso enemy would actually get stuck in a fucking massive doorway. I'm just not sure what I'd use them for. I've never been like playing a game with the PlayStation controller and been like, man, I wish I had more buttons. I think if I was to play like a shooter game, maybe I would like to have a different sensitivity set, like swap to a sniper build or something. Like, I could understand it in that situation, but I would never play a shooter with a controller if I could avoid it. Boom. Oh, I always forget about this chest. It's so easy to miss. Because usually you're just running through here, you don't kill the fucking guy. But that's nice. Oh yeah. Or no, I think the summon sign is over here. Where this guy is. I got a little bit turned around a second ago. And it should be the witch. But you have to summon her for the Moonlight Butterfly fight. Why are you kicking, bro? Wom, 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 wom. Wasn't there a piece of loot that we saw from... Hold on. Hold up. What? How do I... Oh. Wait a minute. Hold up. No way. Paddles make it easier for you to hit certain buttons so you don't have to take your thumb off of the camera. Yeah, for sure. Like, if I was going to do that, I would definitely do it for triangle or circle. But what's funny is the paddles are seemingly bound to square and X. Actually, let me press the right one. I don't know what the right one is bound to right now. It doesn't seem to do anything. But that's also what X does. Nothing. So I think it's bound to square and X. On the PlayStation controller, mind you. Why? What is this item that... Do I have vision on it from up here? Huh. We've already looted this stuff up here. It's the composite bow. I definitely don't have vision on it over here because that's the exterior. Wow. What is that item I'm not getting? Noob Sean must find. Need loots. Yeah, like I'm pretty sure I would bind the right paddle to jump. So when I get back into Elden Ring, I'm almost certain my right paddle is going to be jump. I mean, maybe even my left paddle. I don't know. So we dropped down here, so we're going to have to go back through everything. But that's probably good because I want to try to figure out how I'm missing this particular item. I'm not entirely certain what it is. It might be something that we get. Oh, you know what? I think I need to go up here and to the right. No, that's death. Death. This is the entrance. No. Alright, we can see the item all the way over here, so. What the fuck am I missing? Why can't I remember how to get this? I can't use my memory for that anyways. I gotta find it, but... Oh, shit. So simple. A proud night indeed. Surprised they didn't have an enemy here. Alright, well it seems like we've done everything we can do right here. Now it's time for the ultimate noob death. I think I'm gonna eat it no matter what, like intentionally, because there's two things that will happen in this scenario. One, I die right now because I don't think to put the ring on and I just go into that fog gate and go down and fall and die. Two, I say I know there's a boss in that fog gate. I go back to the blacksmith, I upgrade, I come back and I die. Both ways I'm dying from that, so I'll just go ahead and get it over with because I think there's a good enough chance that I would be like, fuck it. But I know for sure with this many souls on and know I'm going into a boss fight, I would just put on the sacrifice ring, because I usually have my thingy on. My Hornet's ring, which does nothing for bosses anyways. So I gotta start getting in that mindset of taking that ring off. So the ghosts would catch us off guard if they actually attack us. I wouldn't think to jump. That would be insane. Be like, we got stairs. Let's check them out. And I would just take the stairs all the way. I'd be noticing these platforms, but I wouldn't think much of them. I would, you know, this would be a problem. I would have to think about this for a minute. Like, what the fuck is happening here? Do we have to do the triple Lindy? The funniest part is you can actually just die by dropping off from the top and hitting one of those platforms near the bottom. Like, you drop from here and then hit one of these last little out juts. You just eat it before you even hit the bottom. What a load of schnitzel. Why aren't there ghosts in here? I thought there were ghosts. I guess they're ghosts because I'm so used to running to this boss that the ghosts are there and they just fucking... It is what it is, right? Okay. Yeah, I think at this point, because we can't... Actually, does it even let you back out? I didn't even try. Yeah, they make you stuck in here because they know people would, like a new player, you would get to the bottom of the stairs and be like, all right, well, that's a death. I'm not going to fucking go there. But the fact that they lock you in is going to make people come to that conclusion like, okay, something, I have to do something, right? Some people would homeward bone maybe, but they'd still come back here eventually and be in that same situation, so I'd say fuck it. Let's see what the death... I want to pay attention to the death and see if it tells you to put on the ring. It doesn't even... Could you imagine how confused you would be? You don't even hit the ground below to where like the boss fight starts and then it just kills you. That was just an insta kill. No information learned whatsoever. That's crazy. Alright, so we would definitely go to the blacksmith. Isn't that just wild? They'll tell you, like, when you're cursed, how to remove the curse, but there... I can't believe they don't tell you to put the ring on. Especially if it's in your inventory. They should really give you some kind of info. Take it. It's time to get upgraded. Oh wait, we gotta modify, right? I hate how they do this. It's so silly. Let's make sure we spend our chunks where we need to before we try to get everything else to plus 11. No, we need one more chunk. Now imagine if I had bought a bunch of chunks, or not. Imagine if I had upgraded one of those other items with a chunk and then gone to do my spear and I was one short, that would have been tragic. Tragic indeed. All right, let's reinforce our armor. I'm just gonna get it to +5. Or no. Yeah, everything to +3 first. I forgot the armor caps out at +10. Where are holy trousers? Okay.
Don't get yourself killed. Night.
All right. So we're going to have a +13 spear. Fair enough. Let's see how much we need. 7,000 more souls. Let's consume some stuff. All ye. And okay. We don't know what type of boss we're gonna face, but we know we're gonna face a boss. So our ring died, and now we would have to like figure this shit out, right? Traverse the abyss. He already told us about Artorias, right? So the NPC gave us the information. It was a little vague. We know we're not actually ever going to find Artorias because we're not going to the DLC. And even if we go to the DLC and encounter Artorias and defeat Artorias, we don't learn anything about traversing the abyss for the Four Kings. Like, nothing is shared there. So that would be like an absolute journey in vain when the answer is in my inventory. This ring symbolizes Knight Artorias' covenant with the beast of the abyss. It's where, like Artorias himself, can traverse the abyss. The only problem with that I see is how we just died. It didn't give us any fucking information that we were killed by the abyss. It just looks like every other fall death that we've ever experienced, period. Like, that is a very bad design, and I don't remember it being like that. I really don't. I'm wondering if it's because, like, I fell from the very edge of the stairs and it's just a kill box. As annoying as it is, I'm gonna go back without the ring equipped, and I'm gonna jump from the very top and see what happens. See if there's any different experience, because that's just a terrible, terrible oversight if that's the reality of that. Like, I really want to know. And so, without being too revealing, this is definitely going to be our last episode, because unless we just get steamrolled by the Four Kings forever, we'll defeat the Four Kings, and then we'll pop that soul into the thing, and it's going to tell us that that's enough to fight Big Daddy, and then we'll go fight Big Daddy, and this character should do just fine in that fight. We'll take our lumps, but other than that, I think it should be totally fine. So what that means is, if I stream this weekend, then it's going to be Dead Space. So George, I might hit you up on Discord and just see, like, if you have a preference. We'll kind of talk about it, 'cause George is the impetus behind me streaming that game. To be fair, though, I think it's a great game to stream. I did stream the original, if you guys remember. Maybe it wasn't a stream. it was either a Let's Play that I recorded or I streamed it. And it was funny because I have this involuntary reaction when something like startles me. I usually go, oh shit. So I said that in that game like so many fucking times. I don't do it so much anymore. Like, I was a lot younger back then. I don't know what I say anymore. It's hard to think about stuff that I have a different reaction for sure though. I probably sprinkle in some oh shits every once in a while though. All right. I'm ready to see. Ready to see. Yeah, I'm using the DualSense Edge as well. Oh. And the, whatchamacallit? The black one. I've been waiting for the black one to come out, so that I just got it. That fucking, the original one, I just did not dig the colors. I'm like, I'm not paying $1 million. Told you. That one? So, okay, that's the second. All right, second death. And it's another death that doesn't give you any info. You're like, what? Okay, well, that one I just collision death, but that's cheap as fuck. I hate how they have that there. If you just walk in and drop down thinking like, okay, well, I'm just going to get to the abyss. No, you're going to take a fucking fall death just because the game wants to be an asshole to you. It's so annoying. So next time, instead of like walking off, we're going to go full sprint and see what that looks like. Let me rest here so we actually spawn here next time. It's so silly. And we still need to learn if it gives you a message that you need to know. Can't lie, you'd love to see me play Callisto Protocol also, since... Yeah, I was gonna choose between the two of those games, but I don't own Callisto Protocol, and I do own the remake, and the Callisto Protocol was pretty poorly received from what I could tell. You know what's sad about this playthrough? I was pretty much enjoying myself for the majority of it until the Bed of Chaos. And it just really made me think how insanely terrible that is, how detrimental that is to the experience, the overall feeling of this game. Because that is, in most scenarios, going to be the very last or next to last thing that people are doing before they fight Gwyn. And just, you end with Bed of Chaos, so a god-awful fight, very frustrating, and then Gwyn is not, it's not a very satisfying encounter, right? Like, pretty easy boss. The ending is anticlimactic. Just doesn't feel that great. Okay, so now we're gonna do it the smart way. So if you walk off, you die. If you roll or jump off, you die. So the game is like, what's the like safe spot effectively to make your leap of faith, right? Now, I'm sure if you play online, there's probably, you know, little friendly message, try here or something like that along those lines. But, you know, maybe there's some troll messages there too. I don't know. It's hard to say that's like the only reason why it would be poorly received, Paul. Like what I remember reading about, like the mechanics just weren't that great. I don't know. I mean, I might actually have it on my PlayStation 5 as one of those like monthly games, or if it's included in the catalog, it may be on there. So at some point I may play it on the PS5. But other than that, I'm definitely not going to buy the Callisto Protocol. I'll say that much. I will, I don't know. I'll have to consider it. I'd have to consider if I'm playing it, right? If it's on the PS5, I know it exists on the PS5. If I own it on the PS5 as one of the free things that I've got through memberships, then I'll consider it. Let's see. Let's take our, we'll take our, hopefully our last fall death. You bastard. You have to be pretty quick to get away from that shit. So what I'm doing is I'm getting to this first platform and I'm just walking off. And it doesn't, I can't believe it doesn't give you this information, right? Oh, wow. Imagine how confusing that is to a player who, like, oh man. That is a very frustrating situation for people. Okay. So we've experienced all the likely deaths that a noob would experience to this point. It is time. And now we're probably going to just get whomped. Now, the Four Kings, they're not impossible to beat just, you know, traditionally. Dodging, running, attacking. But, I mean, we're all very well aware by this point, I would imagine, that if you want to kill them easily, you just show up. You can show up in the giant set, hovel set, like whatever you've got, huge poise, and just walk on them and beat them down. Yeah, Paul, I really struggle to buy new games these days because I just have so many fucking games. It just seems... I mean, there's always going to be the exceptions. Like, I'm always going to get the new Fromsoft games. You know, I'll probably pick up a couple other new games throughout the year here and there, but like at this point, between Humble Bundle, Amazon Prime, fucking PlayStation Plus, all this shit, like just buying new games seems insane to me. Skirt. Get away from me, spoops. Alright, so we learned that the first platform is good. We just got to walk off of it. Now that we've got our thingy on. And it's time to figure out. Again, a noob wouldn't really know what to do at this point and be like, huh? You'd hear that. You'd probably just stand here. Like, I would be in full sprint, getting as close as I can to this guy. Oh! That would be scary, right? You'd be like, what the fuck? Oh my god, it circles around. Imagine that. Alright, we're checking out our damage. It's not the worst. These guys don't do much damage. Oh, that one does. So this kind of illuminates why you can stand in the pocket with these dudes when you have high poise armor. And we don't have high poise armor, mind you. Oh, shit! Dead. So this is where you learn, right? You're like, what? I just fucking killed that thing. Where was the other guy? So you start thinking, okay, well, 4 kings, that kind of makes sense. There's more than one. All right. I don't know if at this point you realize that it's more of a race than anything else. But we'd be pretty confident that we can take like a decent amount of their damage. Now, certain hits seem to deal way more damage than others. So it looks like their poke is insignificant and their slash is high damage. So what we want to do, what I would do in this situation for my second attempt, is I would probably do the gold pine resin, because the bosses seem to all be weak to gold pine resin for the most part. Like, it's always been the best for when we've used it compared to fire damage. I don't know if you can bleed the 4 kings. I've never really tried to. It would be something worth considering, though, because the Iaito is going to swing faster, so you're going to get more hits in. So if it does anywhere near comparable damage to the spear or more, then that's going to be better, let alone not thinking about the bleed itself. But then if you proc a bleed, I mean, that's obviously going to be very nice. And bleed might allow you to overkill one of the 4 kings, dealing damage, like higher damage to the boss's overall health bar, which is obviously ideal. And we know that when the boss fight starts, we have a little bit of time. Disgusting. All right, let's see. Oh, good damage. We like. We haven't seen that yet. We don't know. Oh, that hurts. We could kind of figure it would be bad news. Okay, we see the other one now. All right, first time grab. Okay. So it's just got to keep your eyes on them. All right, we got the other one in the mix. Okay. Ooh, we lost vision there. Yeah, so you can tell like running is definitely better than rolling in that scenario. I didn't think we needed to dodge that. I thought we could just run to the side. All right, now you can see these guys just continue to stack up, so you really got to be careful. But the good thing is you're not getting hit by like ranged spells. One of them will always come towards you. Thankfully with the fight, I think it might be worth shielding up in that scenario if you know you're going to get hit. Thankfully in the fight, they won't ever have two of them on top of you at once. Oh, that's bad. I wonder how many you can have simultaneously. Oh, we're fucked. Oh my god, we survived. Get up! No! So that's really funny. I don't think... I'm trying to think of when I've ever fought with like 3 of them sitting there. Okay, so that's pretty illuminating how little damage we do. So... It makes me want to consider using my my Yaito. So let's look at the damage. 176 plus 73 with bleed versus. So the damage isn't better, but it has bleed, and so if we can bleed, it's going to do much more. Also, it's not the same level, so it's 3 levels behind. But we can get some gold pine resin from Milady, I think. No, she doesn't sell it. Who sells, if at all? I'm trying to remember. If Dommel sells it, it might be pretty limited supply. I'm not certain. I'm gonna check. It's been a long time. I mean, it's not gonna be super essential because we were doing just fine. We just took a kind of unlucky death, but you want to, you know, give yourself the best chance. Okay, so he does not.
Well, that is a shame then. But no, come back. No, they'll be.
Let's just use our homeward bone. instead of making that little jog back. And now I'm trying to think. Gold pine resin. I don't recall who would sell it, but that's fair. No problem. Let's first find out. We'll do the fight. We might not need it at all. And let's see if we can bleed the Four Kings. I expect we'll be able to. And if we are, we should proc it pretty decent amount of times because we can get lots of swings off. I'm not sure. I don't think... I mean, if he does, that'd be pretty surprising because it's such a strong pine resin. Like, it would surprise me if the Undead Burg merchant sells that. He might. You might just be remembering that you get gold pine resin in the Undead Burg, which I believe you get access to if you buy the residence key from him. Because then it's in that chest in that little house that you open the door to. But I don't believe he sells that, because if he did, I would never fucking kill that guy. Gold pine resin is way too good to have on a merchant like that to then just fucking kill him for Uchigatana. Especially when you can get an Iaito or a washing pole or something like that. Get out of here, you bum. Alright. I'm kind of excited to see if we can bleed these things. Dun, 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 dun. Oh my god, it's been a long time. What? I was gonna say I hadn't seen that in forever. I didn't even know what that was. Oh. No bleed yet. I'm just staying in the... Okay, I don't think we're gonna bleed them. But it might be worth just staying... Oh, shit. Staying on top of them like that. No bleed. Unlucky. Uh-oh. Wonder how soon we have to realize that before we get whomped. How'd he still get me there? No! I need to... I just don't get practice with that. I'm not totally sure which way we want to dodge into that. Oh my god! No! The dude behind me fucking wrecked me. I didn't think he was close enough to hit me. What up, Shadow? Ah, that was so lame. Okay. Alright, so since we can't bleed, it'd actually be worth to consider using... Like, we could test out this occult club. I'm curious to test it out. Scales with faith. So, it's got one of our stronger stats. It should do good damage against this boss, theoretically. And we can... I think it's probably going to take Titanite, or Twinkling Titanite, to upgrade. So 2k a pop. And we can buy Twinkling Titanite if we want. So we can fully upgrade this thing very quickly. So we're going to see the potential of the club pretty quick. Oh, it's just white chunks. Never mind. Not twinkling. Alright. We just maxed out an occult weapon. And... let's see. We'll level up real fast. It actually makes sense to probably makes sense to just level everything. Or spend all our souls right now. Almost. Remember when you couldn't spend them like this? Oh, those days. Those days were pain. All right. I wish this was a reinforced occult club. I mean, obviously we can make any weapon occult, but I just wanted to use this one since we had it. It'll be interesting to see. I imagine for it to go down the occult path, it would have had to be a +5 or a +10 club to begin with. So if you're wondering why I didn't just turn like another weapon into an occult one, that's the main reason. Just would have had to take a little journey to do so, and this should be fully capable of killing those bosses. But I would say if you die again, it would be an opportunity to say, you know what? Like, we don't need to be very mobile in that fight. The only time we need to run is when they do that explosion thing. So if I can just equip a magic resist shield and hold the shield up during that blast, I might be able to have like super high poise armor, then hold that shield and negate the majority of the magic damage. Ooh. And then just stand in the pocket the whole time and beat the shit out of those guys. Like, that would be the ideal scenario if you still struggle after this. I hate how they can get you through that, too. It's so frustrating. Never safe. Whee! I don't really care about those. I'm more focused on getting to this dude the fastest. Fuck. He spawned near it. Are you fucking kidding me? Back to fucking back grabs? He knows. I just want to see how the bonk stick works. Oh my fuck. This guy is using the most bullshit strat on me right now. Second dude already spawned. He's using every single high damage attack he's got. Yeah, it's been way too long since I figured out how to dodge that. It's definitely not dodging into it because he just plucked me out of thin air. This weapon does not do very good damage, unfortunately. So this was a failed experiment. We're not getting away from that. Ooh, we did. Oh man. We might be able to just keep one of them. There we go. It's cool sound. Oh shit, oh shit, oh shit. I really hate that fucking spell. That's such bullshit. Oh my god. We're dead. Heal through. Heal through was the only possible way. Stand up! Whoa, bro. What am I? It's like I'm swinging through air. How is he missing? Twice. Oh my god. There's so many of them. No. Feels like I'm running against a wall right now. I can't get away. Yeah. What up, Non? Yeah, I'm pretty sure the mushroom sells the fucking, the gold pine resin, because you can farm gold pine resin on the mushroom. So that would make perfect sense. I'm, like, very confident she sells it. But we can't go there. Okay. God, what a letdown that fucking weapon is. Holy. I bet the Grant is kind of good against them. I think our spear is actually the best because it's pretty much never going to miss. Getting the... Yeah. Wow. Okay. Interesting. I would have expected a cult to do really good work on the Four Kings. That is just an incredibly dog shit weapon, or a cult is not impactful on the Four Kings. It's supposed to be powerful on like godlike beings. And I mean, if the Four Kings are not a godlike being, that's pretty surprising to me. Alrighty. We could consider using our Gravelord sword. That'd be kind of funny. I feel like we're gonna be okay here, though. That fight, that last fight started out as bad as it possibly could. Double grab attack, fucking explosion, range spell. Like, they were literally doing everything that we don't want. I'm gonna try oh, we took the black fire bombs off. I'll put one on. I just want to see it. I want to see how it does. I'm coming to get you. No. Fucking hell. Not as good as our spear, unfortunately. Wait, what? That was a super delayed chug. I tried to heal a while ago. I'm trying to avoid rolling on those side swipes because I want to stay, like, it actually keeps me, if I don't roll, I can stay in the fight longer. What the fuck? You're flying away from me! No! Where do you roll? That fucking grab is like inescapable, it feels like. I've tried to roll in each direction. Oh, I thought you were doing that. Dude, he's not doing the attacks that I think he is. Your buddy's here. too. Okay. Yeah, you can't really get behind that one, even though I tried there. Every time he does that, I think he's doing a back swipe too. Ooh, I gotta be careful there. Heal through. Oh. Every time! Where do you roll? I roll into it? No. I roll away from it? No. I roll to the sides? No. It's like, fuck. Let me roll. I don't know, man. My timing just must be god-awful on that roll. Now take the ring off. And you just insta-die. Let me get my green goop over here. My goo! 60k. That's like one level. Nice. Oh, I actually had 20k souls. Okay. Time. That is the last Lord soul that we needed. We're gonna give that to the spot. Oh, let me rest here, actually. Here we go. Stab. I wish they would actually let that spear go in and you just slide all the way down and split him in half. Just to avoid fall damage. The hand always looks so gnarly there. Yeah, Dommel. They sell them good, sweet, sweet boss loots. If we happen to get a chunk here, which is pretty probable, we'll be able to get our spear to plus 15. Yeah. You know, since we have the Mask of the Child, I want to put on the Sanctus. I don't think the stamina regen stuff stacks. It doesn't feel like it, that's for sure. What? How did that parry felt perfect. Alright, let's watch our health regen. 438, 440, 442, 2 HP pretty much every second, it feels like. 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3 1000. All right, maybe it's like 1.5 to 2 seconds. I don't know. All right, we got our chunky there. So let's go back real fast and max out our spear. Chunky. At the end of the game, we have completed Questo's weapon of choice. You are maxed out, Questo. This area? Yeah, let's remember to take it all in as a noob would here. Like, holy shit. It's crazy because it looks like a giant coliseum, right? But then there's a building inside. Such a strange place. Boom. Isn't it hilarious how they give you this amazing farming location for upgrade materials right in front of this final boss, who's probably like one of the easier fights in the game. Oh shit. Forgot how awesome this weapon is. God, that sword is so disgusting. Not only are you getting like great materials, but if you get like Black Knight weapon drops, those weapons are so good against all the bosses. Like, so you just come in super ready for New Game Plus. I mean, if you score a Black Knight weapon, oh, there we go again. If you score a Black Knight weapon, especially on the first Black Knight kill, you just activated easy mode. I always thought this part was cool. It looks like paint, right? And you're like, what? Is this world in the mind of some artist, and that's what this whole game is? Okay. It's funny if someone watches this game and they're like, oh man, all you do is circle around and stab them in the back. So easy. Which is true, but most of these enemies can like 1 or 2 shot you anyway, so it's kind of fair if you think about it. Like, look at the ground. It's so crazy. The design of everything. You can get your first glimpse of him from out here. Have any of you ever actually taken the time to look in on him from here? Look how fucking badass his sword is. That is so cool from here. Like, oh man. If you didn't know any better, you'd look down on that guy and think, holy shit. I did do a keyboard and mouse playthrough before. It was challenging. I got pretty decent at it eventually. It was funny though. My shield looks so fancy. That attack is amazing. I fucking love that attack. Alright, so we'd be coming into this fight. We obviously wouldn't know how it plays out, so we wouldn't know that he's a parry guy. Like, what boss have we fought in the game that you can parry? So, this would be very... This would catch us off guard for sure. And we'd immediately realize that we cannot block his shit. We can't out heal. Yep. And so when you don't know, this boss is extremely oppressive, right? So while we can laugh and say like, yeah, this is one of the easiest fights in the game, when you don't know how to do the fight, he's super oppressive. He's so very fast. You have very little time to heal, if at all. He staggers you because of the fire damage. Like, he's pretty impressive. Like, what boss have we fought that is that blatantly aggressive? And he's obviously coded to pursue you the moment you press the heal button. Like, he goes in as hard as fucking possible when you try to heal. So, what lessons could we have learned in that moment, right? One thing we immediately identified, if we hold our guard up, he kills our entire fucking stamina bar. We had a full stamina bar. We blocked one attack, and it completely broke our guard. So you cannot shield up against him. That's just not happening. At least not without like a great shield or something else, right? So, bad thing there. And then we realized one thing that I was realizing in the fight in that moment. I was thinking, so I don't have an opportunity to really heal because he's super aggressive. Can I use the terrain? I noticed that there was stuff in between us in certain parts, so can I leverage that and use that to heal? Maybe. So getting to see that is immediately great. They're like, okay, we can fucking parry an attack. And I'm just really trying to learn. I'm not trying to like use my strats here. Yeah, even the terrain we can't really utilize. So you would think that the parry window is the only time you really have to heal after you land either the parry or the crit. And even if you're landing the crit, it's pretty risky to heal there. And it's like, if you're decent at parrying, you just immediately trivialize the fight, right? Oh, unless he does these super fast attacks. Those are the tough ones to parry, right? And if you fail, you could actually hear my shield clank there. And those are the parry attempts that drive me nuts, right? You're hearing the deflection of the weapon off the shield, but the parry doesn't register. When those happen, I get really sad. But that was a great example of like the fight can be going extremely well and then dead. So he's not like, he's not a cakewalk. You can, like, the fight can go very easy, or it can turn on a dime. Like, it's just one of those encounters where if you get him in the right attacks, it feels like a joke. So if he's doing those slow back swings and stuff like that, it feels similar to fighting a Black Knight, where you can reliably parry that move. The fast swings are obviously very difficult because they're super quick. And unfortunately, when you're parrying in this game, it's important to try to watch the attack, not just parry on a twitch. Because if you're doing that, you're going to parry way too early on a lot of attacks. And I do that all the fucking time, and it drives me nuts. That's why slow swings get me killed a lot. But for this fight, the fast swings will get me killed because I'm typically expecting his slower swings. His faster swings seem to be more rare. But if the faster swings hit you, you usually get a chance to follow up with another parry swing, and sometimes a third. So we did, but you heard our third swing clank. This is actually the one parry when he comes in, like, that one I struggle with for whatever reason. Yeah, let's see. You could hear the clank, I think, twice there too. The first attempt, clank, and I think the second attempt clanked. So those I really feel like those are unfair. Because if your shield is hitting the weapon, then why is it not parrying? Like, doesn't make any sense, because you're not holding up the guard. You're literally swatting at it. So if you're making collision, why is it not registering? If the game recognizes to make the sound effect, it should succeed at the parry. I never understood that. But this is one of those other opportunities where you're like, okay, well, what the fuck? Like, I actually have something that I picked up, and we never really thought to use it, but now it's like, okay, I've got a parry dagger and a buckler shield, but we put our parry dagger and the buckler shield in the fucking bottomless box, didn't we? Okay. If we die again, we'll grab the parry dagger, because it specifically got the word parry in it, and I think it'd be cool to try out here. I'm not sure to what extent it increases the parry window, but it does. It'd be I feel like if it should be a trackable stat, like you should be able to see it, because trying to do the math on that seems insane. Like, what are you doing to determine the difference in parry window there? You've got animations from successful parry attempts, but you'd have to go like frame by frame by frame and see when is it not. I mean, it's just so much work in my mind. I can't, and I don't even know if you would like be able to trust it or consider it reliable data. But that's what the weapon is designed for, so it'd be interesting to see. And apparently, from my memory, the buckler, oh my god, that's bad news. I was completely flat. How do they do damage there? I'm not supposed to be, what? I thought I was gonna die while I was standing up. I died laying flat on the fucking ground. What the fuck? Alright, well, let's grab our shit. Parry dagger. That's mine. And then let's go to the buckler. We should use the bone wheel shield. Alright, let's look at both of these and see what the flavor text is. Very small, round metal shield. Parry attacks with large center protrusion. Small shields are always less stable, but landing critical hits after parry is easier. The shield is specialized for parrying. Okay, perfect. But it does, like, it's telling you that it's the best parry specialized shield, but doesn't quantify it. You have no idea, right? You know it's better, but to what extent? And the parry animation is a little bit unique, right? Let me show. Oh, we didn't swap. Sorry. So you can see how it kind of like flips like that. Now, the parry dagger does the same type of thing. This dagger is useful after parrying and is normally equipped in the left hand, a favorite of the Knights of Karim, who are famous for fighting without a shield. So you can see the animation is very similar. It's almost the same thing. But it's funny because, like, why would you want to use this to attack after? The description of that text is so weird. Like, useful after parrying. No, it's useful to parry, and then you would never fucking stab with it, because your damage is dog shit. So the good thing about, like, the parry dagger and the buckler is that they are super lightweight, right? The bad thing is you're not getting the benefit of whatever your shield secondary, like, bonus buff is. And of course, you're not getting the physical damage resistance of a normal shield either. So we'll use this because we're not going to try to shield up anyways. That would be an easy death for us. And we'll see what we can accomplish. Yeah, but these runbacks, man, they really just take the fun out of the game when you get to points like this. Like, running back here offers nothing, right? It's not a challenge, it's just a nuisance. It's tedious. Like, yeah, you're gonna die occasionally, but like it doesn't serve any purpose. That was a sick jump. I hate it! At least I didn't die that time. Did you see how long I was on the ground? And if you remember, I took the same hit last time and died. Whoa! So fast, man. Ugh, I suck at parrying that swing. Oof. Yeah, in the past when I would play this game, I usually didn't like to try to parry up the open attack. And in fact, I feel like using the parry dagger after having used the regular shield for a while, it's probably gonna cripple me. I'm gonna go back to what I'm used to. But when I do like parry run only type playthroughs, I do use the buckler or the parry dagger. Because once you get used to it, you do get the feeling that it is a better parrying item. why is it always like the early attempts in a fight where you do the best? I mean, it's like that for me at least. I don't know about anybody else. I think it's just like you get so, I don't know, like the passion or the joy of the encounter gets completely deflated. If we could just spawn right outside of the boss gate again and just get back into the fight, it would actually be fun. And I would love to theory craft and try different techniques and things like that against the bosses. But you just get so fucking sick of these runbacks. That's why the PC modding community will do things like boss runs and stuff, where you can just fight every boss instantly, whatever you want to do. I think all of the Souls games, once you beat the game, should open up a boss arena where you can just select the boss and fight it. That'd be such a good fucking addition to their games. Be very easy for them to do. Jesus fuck. 2 clanks to start. Ugh. Like, how am I not getting those fucking parries? The whole point of that sound effect should be that the shield successfully parried. I don't get it. It seems so inconsistent. I feel like my timing is no different, especially at the beginning, because you know that fucking attack is coming. And what it ends up doing is it puts doubt in your mind, and then you start changing your parry timings on something that you've done like 100,000 fucking times. Like, you guys watch me play, I parry more than I do anything else. And so, for it to feel like it's robbed so consistently in certain encounters, it just, you feel like cheated. Like, I don't know what I can do better or differently in those scenarios. If I wasn't hearing that clank and the timing didn't already feel good, I'd just be like, oh man, I'm going too fast. Like, you hear me when I fuck up. I'm like, ugh, way too early, or fuck, I waited too long. Like, I'm always I always acknowledge that shit. I say it out of frustration, like I'm just talking to myself, like, fuck, can't believe I went so early. But in these other scenarios where it feels really good and then you hear that sound effect, God, that is super tilting. Because you're not, like, I don't know what I'm learning in that scenario. Like, oh, okay, I should have gone like a millisecond sooner or a millisecond later. Like, what is it telling me? See, I tried to go too early there. I sped it up. All 3 of those were clanks, by the way. When you whiff, whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. When you hit something, when you hit a sword swinging at you, it's way loud. Clank. This is what I was referring to earlier when I said how depressing it is to think about all the players that go from the bed of chaos to this. Like, what a fucking horrible experience. Bonk. 1 damage, buddy. Staggered you real good. What up, Lemon? I wish I had the rolly mechanic right now. Oh, by the way, any of you guys that have played the Dead Space remake, is it just like a like for like, or are there actually certain changes in the game? I don't want to know the spoilies or the changes, but I'm just curious. Is it essentially like a modern remaster, or are there actual actual changes other than it being on a new engine and completely polished and all that shit? I feel like there's probably some changes in there. I can't see anything. You fucking take up my entire screen. God damn it, I can't see. This game always wants to find ways to fuck with you. Dude, how? See, okay. Those two, clear misses. Way too early, way too late. Dead. No problem with that. The first one, timing felt perfect. Clank, nothing. No fucking parry. This is why I usually I just don't even try to parry the first time in, right? I think the only time we parried it was the second fight, the very second attempt. There's I think it's Dark Souls 3. You're fighting a boss like in a church or something, and they start the fight identically. They fly in and you parry, and it is what it is. I almost always intentionally avoid that parry attempt. And then once they're on the ground and face to face, then I start making my parry attempts. Whatever it is about this fucking attack, like, it should be the easiest parry in the game because you know the attack's coming 99.9% of the time. There's no variation to it. It comes in hot. Like, why can I not parry it? Why am I so fucking bad at parrying that attack? It always feels legit. It always feels well-timed. It always gives me the fucking clank. Like, I literally don't do anything different than the times when I do succeed. And when I change it, if I try to go too early or try to hold on and hesitate and then go later, it always feels bad, and it looks bad, and it gets me killed. Like, I don't know what I can't tell a difference between when I succeed and when I fail and also hear the clank. It just, it feels 100% identical to me. And, like, you guys know, if you do something so many times over and over again, like, milliseconds are really nothing to you. Like, you feel the difference. Milliseconds. Right? So if my parry timing was like 5 milliseconds different and I was failing, like, I would eventually start to recognize that and be like, okay, like, I'm going too fast, I'm going too slow. I would feel the difference there. It would be recognizable. But it's just like, I'm definitely not getting any of that kind of feedback. Oh, Paul, I was just asking, like, what is it, a true remake or is it like a polish? Oh, fuck you, man. Oh, I thought he was. Nope. Dude, I'm like, dude. Am I insane? Like, is this game just, like, broken? We haven't parried him a single fucking time since the second fight. What is going on? It's just been clank, 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 clank. Like, 80% of my parry attempts, clank. And then the ones that I, like, genuinely miss, it's obvious, right? It feels like it's just completely broken. Like I cannot parry him at all. What the fuck? I'm at this point, I'm convinced that something's wrong with the fucking game. I'm restarting this shit. I feel like if we go into this fight and I successfully parry after reloading the game, that I just want to uninstall instantly. Like not even finish the fight. Just because that's what I would probably do as a noob. I would see this and I would be like, what the fuck? What the fuck just happened? And those of you that doubt don't know me. Because that is exactly what I would do. I have so little patience for shit like this. I'll do something 1,000 times in a row for 24 hours straight if I feel like it's fair and I'm fucking up. This feels completely broken right now. I wonder if it's a remaster, like timing kind of concern. Because, so like, if you guys were familiar with the original Dark Souls, the Prepare to Die edition, and it was running at locked 30 frames per second, right? The thing about that is you could unlock the frame rate, but it would absolutely fuck the game up because all the animations for the enemies are like to that very timing. Like, so parries have a huge reliance on that, right? Has to be that locked frame rate. And that would represent itself in a variety of ways. Like if you were sliding down a ladder with an unlocked frame rate, you would just fall through the earth sometimes. Because it wouldn't like activate the collision. And it's just crazy. And it feels like something fucked up like that. Also, your jumps and your rolls would be shorter or longer. That felt good too, man. He's gonna grab me, that's fine. I'm gonna get killed through the fog gate, watch this. Huh, didn't happen. What? How? What is going on? What is happening? None of these parries are working. Every single fucking one. Clank, clank, clank. What the fuck is happening, dude? This is not real. There's nothing real about this. This cannot be fucking real. Those last two parry attempts were perfect. Oh my god. Can I kill myself? At least I chose that death. That didn't feel like a ripoff. I mean, what is happening right now? Good God. You know what? Plank. I just want to see, like, a parry happen. What was that? Dead Space feels more like a remaster than a remake. The differences aren't significant enough to make it feel like a full-fledged remake. Kind of like how RE4. Okay. I mean, it's been like an eternity since I played that game, so I don't have any realistic, like, palpable memory. Let's get a parry. Oh my god, dude. What is happening? Oh, shit. Yeah, I didn't know what that was at first. Chonk. Chonky. Oh my god, I almost died because I had him target locked. Oh, Black Knight Shield, all right. I went early that time just to see the difference, right? I tried going later. I tried going early. Just doesn't matter. I was about to say, don't grab me, but I didn't want to bait it. It always happens if I say it. If he just does this swing every time. Yep. Did you see how early I went there? It was like a fucking joke to try to parry there. But it's been failing over and over and over again. That I parried before his swing even started. And it worked. That's how bad the fucking timing is. If you try to parry when you should, like, realistically parry based off of what you're seeing and the collision, like the actual collision of the weapon and the shield, like, what did I just parry? That should have never fucking worked. That last successful parry was a complete fucking joke. I took a hit and I immediately parried afterwards because anything else has been failing me. It's so bad there. That feels so terrible. It does, like, go from that and then immediately load up Sekiro. And you're like, ching, 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 pixel perfect, like every fucking counter, weapon on weapon. Like, it's crazy, man. It's crazy. But most of the enemies you fight aren't that bad in this game with parrying. The Black Knights are pretty bad. Like, you know to parry very early, right? You just know that. Gwyn, unless he's doing that stupid, like, slow motion baseball bat swing that he did the majority of this fight, that's the only one that feels consistent to me, and it's stupid. You kind of go pretty early with that too. But that, when he goes into that combo, after he hits you the first time with that quick swing, that next swing, I parried so fucking early, that should have never landed. It should have never even been close. I fully expect to die there. It feels incredibly stupid and wrong, and I get rewarded. And it's like, man, that's fucking bad. That feels bad. It does not feel good. Like, you should feel excited that you just won the fight, right? But it just, like, you feel like you had to do something stupid and make a mistake. And, like, it's so weird. I don't get it. I remember, okay, so back to reality. Noob me lit this bonfire and was pissed that the game was over. Because I wanted to go, like, back, and I felt like I wanted to answer some questions, right? Like, I understood that there was a continuation, like a new game plus. That was one of the few things about this game that I knew when I was playing as a noob. And I'm like, man, I didn't know, like, that lighting the fucking bonfire right here was going to end the game. And then if you go to New Game Plus with that, and then the next time you're like, okay, well, this time I'm fucking walking away, it still ends the game. You're just fucked. It's crazy. Like, I feel like they should just end you in, I don't know, give you some kind of option there, right? Shall we? I wonder. Am I losing my mind? I can't remember. If I leave, it still ends the game, right? Yeah.
My lord, bless thy safe return. Let Karth and Fraft serve your highness.
You've done it, Questo.
We are here to serve your highness.
King Questo. Lord of the False Parry. The False Bald.
Let true dark be cast upon the world. Our Lord hath returned.
Oh, nice. My favorite. Our Lord hath returnest. Fantastic song, though. It's hard to be mad about the song. Hard to be mad about the song. Appreciate the positivity, Lemon. Oh my god, the font, the text is so fuzzy. I can't look at that. Oh. All right, well, here we go. Let's continue. So, if you keep the boss souls that you already had, I think it's probably a bad idea because you can't use them. You can't upgrade the weapons for quite a while. I don't remember if it gives you multiple. I think it does. Like, if I went and killed the Moonlight Butterfly, I think I would have 2 of their souls. Pretty sure. But yeah, the thing is, if you're gonna 100% this game, like, you need to go into New Game Plus because you have to use the Soul of Gwyn to unlock a miracle, I think. There's a couple things like that. Like, you can't 100% this game in one playthrough. New Game Plus is mandatory. So yeah. Man, I gotta be honest with you guys. Those kind of experiences for me, like, you can tell we were playing through, we're doing our thing, right? And these last 2 episodes, like the ending of the last 2 episodes, really fucking pissed me off. And it's like those moments in the game where it doesn't, like, there's such a massive difference between a fight where you feel like you did something, that you accomplished something good or challenging, and it feels great, like you feel excited for conquering the boss or whatever. I'm going to pick a perfect example. In Dark Souls 3, I believe it's the Dreg Heap, where you fight Gale in the DLC. That is one of the best boss fights they've ever done. And it never feels cheap. It always feels legit. And it's fun. And when you win, you feel good, right? You shouldn't be in a situation where you're feeling like cheated. It should be understood when you do well, and when you do poorly. And you should be, like, most of the fights, as we've played through them, we're like, okay, we learned this here, we learned that here, now we can do this, and now we should approach it this way, and this is one thing that we can do better, and we can make this adjustment and improve here. Like, you're not getting that in the worst designed fights. Bed of Chaos, dog shit. And Gwyn, like, it was so apparent. What are we doing wrong versus what are we doing right? Right? My tactic didn't change whatsoever. And when we win, we fucking steamrolled the guy, right? And when we lose, we get steamrolled. Like, there's no in between. There's no, like, it just doesn't feel like you're doing anything different. I didn't change my play style. It was like and in fact, the only thing I altered at the end to get the last parry was literally do something that I thought was the wrong move, because I had tried to do proper parry timing over and over again, and I kept getting rewarded with my shield clanking off their weapon and me dying. And so, like, I always come back to this when I play Dark Souls, and because I parry so frequently, anytime I hear that sound effect, it really fucking pisses me off. Because why did they put that sound in the game? Why does that sound exist? Why would they put a parry? Like, they know you're parrying. It's a parry mechanic. You're not holding L1. You can't. This game, in other games, you can still parry while you're holding the shield up like this. Right? Like, you can hold it like this and still parry. Hold on, let me do this. Wait. What am I think I forgot you could do that in this game. What is it? Which game can you not do that? Is it Demon Souls? Anyways. I'm talking out of my ass now. That fucked me up. I think it's Demon Souls that you can't hold this and still parry. You have to, like, not be blocking before you can parry. Anyways, if you hold your shield like this, it's a different sound. It's a different effect if the enemy hits you with their weapon, right? If you're parrying and you hit their weapon, it's a different sound. If it's successful parry, it does that, like, weird sound effect that they have. And if it's an unsuccessful parry, it should be a whoosh, right? because you're not hitting anything. If you're fucking hitting the enemy weapon, why is there a sound effect of that, a designed sound effect that clearly differentiates itself, but it's still fucking successful? Like, the enemy is still successful in damaging you. How is the shield not reflecting that fucking attack? And those are the ones that always look and feel the best, right? It feels like the absolute perfect moment. So that, for me, really fucking pisses me off when that happens. You won't really feel that in Sekiro. That's why Sekiro, like, when people would ask me before Elden Ring came out, I'm pretty sure, like, when I play Elden Ring again and when I really get invested in that game, that'll ultimately be my favorite. But I haven't played Sekiro any more than any of the other Fromsoft games. But I know for sure that the combat feels good. They did a really good job. Now, they still have their bullshit ways where, like, a weapon will hit you through a fucking wall. Fromsoft, I don't think they've ever fixed that shit. They have terrible environmental collision. Like, I'll be standing in this room and a demon with a Titanite catch pole will be on the other side of that wall, and it'll swing and its arm and its pole will go completely through the building and fucking clip me. They've never fixed that kind of shit, to my knowledge, in any other games. It's always there to some extent, and it fucking infuriates me. And with Sekiro, it's like that. They've got, like, the snipers that are shooting you, and you're behind cover, and they're still fucking hitting you somehow. Things like that exist, right? So none of their games are perfect. They all have fucking flaws. But with Sekiro, the combat, like, it feels like a rhythm game, really. When you're on, you know you're on, and the game feels super rewarding and satisfying because it's just designed well in combat. You don't feel cheated. When you die, you know why you died. You fucked up. You didn't time things right. They didn't get that here, right? And when you look at, like, the majority of deaths that players experience in this game that aren't from like actual genuine mechanics, like, you'll experience the things like camera death. Fucking the death that I usually experience more than anything is greed. I'll just get impatient and just take greed kills over and over again. But I never get mad at the game about that because I know that's just me being a fucking idiot, right? I think greed deaths are pretty common in this game. But why are those common? They're common because you're sick of fucking running back, right? You're sick of the inconvenience, and so you get punished even more by trying to shortcut the inconvenience. So, like, you just compound that shit and make it even worse for yourself. So I hate that part of it, right? And so, like, Elden Ring, of course, they make it even more accessible because then you get, like, a lot of ways to move around the map quickly. You've already got, like, your fast travel abilities, your horse, you can traverse. Like, there's so many. Elden Ring is one of those games that you can become so incredibly powerful in so many different ways that it's far less punishing than any of their previous games, in my opinion. And so it makes sense to me why Elden Ring was so massively popular. Not just is it's cool, it looks amazing, the world is great, and all this other stuff, right? It should be a great game no matter what, with all that fantastic world building. But from my experience when I was playing it, I knew, like, very quickly, I'm like, God, there are so many ways that you can be massively OP. In Dark Souls, it's your pyro glove. You can just break the game immediately by getting a pyro glove, and just shitting on everyone. It's pretty easy, right? But yeah, I've talked, like, I'm tilted about the end of this game. It really pisses me off that they rushed the Lost Izalith. The Demon Ruins suck. The last two bosses that most people will do are the Bed of Chaos and Gwen. Those are their two worst bosses in the fucking game. I wish when they did the remaster of this, the one we're playing right now, that they corrected that. And honestly, I feel like it feels worse to me because back then, back in that time period, you could have said it made sense, right? They ran out of time, they ran out of money, they were in a crunch, like whatever the excuse was. There's no excuse now. They could have corrected it. Everybody in the fucking world would have been like, no Bed of Chaos. Like, think about if you are in the Lost Izalith. Let's just say they don't even fix the zone. The zone stays shitty. There's all those fucking like half dinosaur things everywhere. Like, nothing really makes sense. It's a dumbass fucking zone, right? You're running through lava that's just constantly fucking with your ears. It's horrible to listen to. Like, miserable trash zone, okay? But let's just say you slide down that fucking ramp and you land there and you're fighting the witches of the Lost Izalith, right? Maybe they have like some kind of variety of almost like the fight in I think it's Dark Souls 3, where you're running around all those fucking undead and the cleric type caster things. Like something like that. Something like that. That alone, I would have been like, okay, thank God. Thank God they fixed that. But the Bed of Chaos, it's universally recognized as the worst boss they've ever made. And I've asked the question, what's a worse boss in video games, period? Especially in like a AAA title. I don't know of one. I don't know of one that's worse. I don't know. I challenge people to come up with a legit worse boss. And don't like cheese, don't come up with some bullshit stupid game where it's like intentionally bad. It's hard. It's really hard to find a worse boss in the Bed of Chaos. And the craziest thing is it's a Lord Soul. It's not even just like some stupid worthless boss that means nothing. Terrible. All right. Next stream, Dead Space remaster, remake. Is it remake or remake? Okay, I think it's a remake. Anyways, I feel like I'm not gonna have the same negative reaction when we get to the end of that. But just be glad to know that the next time you see me play Dark Souls, it's the Indiana Jones run. Holy fuck. I am putting that at like the very end of 2025. My Christmas break will be spent Dark Souls Indiana Jones with a fucking whip. That's so gross. I'm gonna be super depressed going into 2026. I'm trying to keep that so far away from me. Oh God. I'm thinking about some of these fights that I have to do with that whip. That is gonna be awful. Very awful. Indie music. Dun, dun, dun. Yep, there you go. All right. I think before we do that Indiana Jones run, we should probably actually play the Indiana Jones game as well. we'll do Indiana Jones, and then we'll do the Dark Souls Indiana Jones playthrough. I wonder if it'd make more sense to do Indiana Jones in like Dark Souls 2 or Dark Souls 3. We'll have to think about that. We'll have to think about which game it makes the most sense in. I think no matter what, it's all gonna be whip and then like crossbow. I don't think it could do anything else. There's no pistol comparison. I mean, Bloodborne probably has a whip and a pistol. We might have to do Bloodborne and Indiana Jones, or Indiana Jones and Bloodborne. It might make the most sense there. Thinking. Yeah, something to talk about. If the rules are rules and we'll stick to Dark Souls, I'm fine with that. But yeah. I'm glad we're moving on to Dead Space though. I'm curious to see. I think I heard when this came out that either Isaac talks in this one, which he didn't in the original, and people were annoyed by that. I think there was like some controversy. I don't know. But the main reason I'm like most excited to play this game is I think it's going to be super fucking scary for me because I'm playing on an OLED monitor and I'm going to be playing in HDR. And so it's going to be like the darks are going to be super dark and the brights are going to be really bright. It's going to look awesome. And the scares are going to be fucking scary. They're going to be pretty scary. So you guys will have some pretty good laughs, especially if you know when the scares are coming and where they're at, because I won't have memory of that. I think I'll remember like the guy that like kills himself. That wasn't really scary though. That was just like, whoa, shit, okay. But other than that, what I think is going to be the worst for me is anticipating the scares that I think are coming, and I'll be wrong, and then I'll get scared by something at the complete opposite time. So yeah, I think you guys will like it. Anyways, that's a wrap. I'll see you guys. I'm probably gonna start it tomorrow, honestly. But I'm not gonna hold myself to that. I'm not gonna guarantee it. I will make an announcement on Discord. All right. See you dudes later. Peace. Good night.